Clearly has established a pattern here over these last two appearances, and I'm not sure that the guys that are in there could, repeat performance from Thanksgiving Day and today without him around. So we want to invite you back for next Friday afternoon. Rutherford kickoff 1:30. Many of you, if not all of you, had the pleasure of being in the middle school gymnasium last Thanksgiving Day when it was truly our pleasure. And when I say our pleasure, I'm speaking on behalf of Sam Bruno, Mike DeAngelis, John Van Postnak, so many other former players of Buzz's. Really had a very special, Kenny Miller, very special afternoon following that tremendous win over Dumont last Thanksgiving Day. And when we had the opportunity to really honor Buzz so appropriately for the many, many years that he's given Tenafly High School and Tenafly football. We couldn't quite go the full 100 yards because what's behind us wasn't quite ready. So obviously we invited him back for this little affair this afternoon. So it is with great pleasure, and as Buzz said, he wanted this to be brief, but we have a few people who have a few things to say. So first, let me introduce a couple of people to start with. On behalf of the Tenafly Board of Education, Board President, Mr. Rick Boucher.
It's a pleasure to be here today for this great occasion when Sam and some others came to us and told us about it to the Board of Ed representative. We listened for about 5 minutes. We all kind of shook our heads and said, yeah, that's a great idea. And we're thrilled to be here. As I mentioned to you a minute ago, I was class of 68 from Dwight Angle. I didn't play for you, unfortunately. Obviously, with all the dedication here, the love for you, I would have loved to have had the chance to play for you. But I did have something in common with your team. At Dwight Englewood, I played with Pete Plaque, Jimmy's older brother, and our team doctor was somebody you all know, Dr. Plaque, and he tried the sport aid on us first.
Now, same time.
Same time? Same time?
Dwight Englewood, Tenafly, and the New York Giants.
All righty, okay. Well,
Last spring at the National Football Foundation College Hall of Fame dinner, Buzz was honored by that group at a dinner that takes place at Giants Stadium in the Stadium Club, where all of the local high schools have an opportunity to bring a player and be honored. And at that time, they take that opportunity to honor several former coaches and contributors to Bergen County football. Buzz was one of the honorees last year. Terry Burke was kind enough to receive the honor last year on his behalf, and he's here to make the presentation once again.
Contribution to Amateur Football Award presented by the Bergen County chapter of the National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame to Boaz Buzz Firkser. Coach, well deserved, my friend.
I wish I could break off pieces of this and give it to Terry and all of my other assistant coaches. As Kevin here knows, without the assistant, the head coach is nothing. There is no way in the world you could play this game, or coach this game, without dedicated staff assistants. I know darn well that we had plenty of them. I certainly, I said in a little get-together the other night that you've got to have the body to fill the X's and O's to be successful. But you've also got to have the teachers, coaches, to teach those bodies where to move those X's and O's and how to follow them. In fact, I was just talking to Dr. Muller. Two of his sons played for me, and one of his sons, we both admitted he was not one of the most athletic or most gifted of the players, but he was never in the wrong place at the wrong time. The only way they get by him was to run over him. And, because he was taught by great assistant coaches, and he did what he was told. And I look around here and I see some former players. God, I'd like to put 11 of them out in the field today. We'd have a hell of a game with you, Kevin. I tell you that. I tell you, it would be a toss-up. It would be a good one. But for the first one, great partner. Well, I just want to thank everybody had anything at all to do with what has happened here. Trying to be as humble as I can. I'm not trying to be overly modest. I'm just trying to be honest. And I realize what led to the success that we had. Players and coaches. And I had something.
Here, here.
We announced at last year's affair in the middle school that we would be, thanks to Coach Creaso and his staff, we would be inaugurating an annual Firkser Award so that Buzz's name would not only hang here on the field house, but the coaching staffs for years and years and years to come would have the opportunity to reward one of their players who certainly symbolized many of the high standards that Buzz always lived to on the football field and on the practice field and certainly in school. So Sean Foley was the recipient last year, and Sean has a little something to read on behalf of the this year's football team as well. Sean Foley.
At this moment in Washington, D.C., a flag is being flown over the United States Capitol building. The flag being flown on this special day, or yesterday's special day, Saturday, September 18th, at the request of the United States Representative Robert Menendez, in recognition of the dedication and unveiling of Firkser Fieldhouse, and the immeasurable contributions of Coach Firkser to the youth of Tenafly and of our nation. Thank you very much.
Who certainly has orchestrated what took place last Thanksgiving and certainly the culmination of that event here this afternoon, and that's Mr. Sam Bruno.
You can get rid of it.
Until Friday. And thanks very much. Before I read this statement, good afternoon to everyone, and thank you all for being here. I'd like to thank somebody who's absent, and that's Mike DeAngelis, who is working at the 100th anniversary of the town of Hallworth today. Unfortunately, they were rained out yesterday, and he's there working today. But he is the other person who was joined at the hip with me, along with all of you from near and far, in celebrating Coach Firkser. So I'd like to read, if I may, Coach. This is a letter that was sent to Coach advising him of what he's about to unveil. And I'd like to share it with all of you, those who are here and those who aren't. Dear Coach, late this afternoon we visited Firkser Fieldhouse and viewed for the first time the cast solid bronze tablet bearing your likeness in bas relief inscribed with your professional accomplishments. Your likeness surveys the field upon and guards that domain from which you taught so many student athletes about more than just the game of football and athletic competition. These were the classrooms where we learned about sportsmanship, teamwork, hard work, respect, sacrifice, and discipline. Mike DeAngelis, THS class of 1974, upon seeing the tablet exclaimed, "This should be in Monument Park in Yankee Stadium." Something wonderful and special happened upon these fields and beneath this sky and within these walls many, many years ago. The experiences, memories, and stories for each of your Tigers are deeply personal and enduring. You coached, taught, and shepherded for 18 seasons. You spoke to your players and filled us with confidence, faith, and inspiration. Your leadership and direction guided us through victory, defeat,
pride and sorrow. Our lives were enriched then and each day forward from the values and standards you imbued in us. You gave so much to so many during their youth. We middle-aged Tigers have returned to proclaim to the ages how truly cherished you were and are in our lives. Thank you, Coach Firkser.
You know something? If I hadn't married this woman, I wouldn't be standing.
If you two would do the honors.
The only scissors we could find, Coach.
Where do I do it?
Bunny? Yeah. What does Coach do here? This is your important answer.
Yeah. I think somebody did a little airbrushing on that.
And could we have all the Tigers come up with Coach and Mr. Firkser and
Please.
a little team photo?
Sure. Please. And once again, thank you all for spending an extra few minutes on this Sunday, this beautiful Sunday afternoon. I'm so glad we did it today as opposed to yesterday, the way it turned out. But again, please hang, take your pictures, do whatever it is. But once again, one more final round of applause for the man.
Ellie, the only time I can yell at her, you know.
Needs me to hold him up.
Al, B, come on. Mike, any of you guys have played. Any of you. Come on.
I need to get pictures of
Please.
you guys.
Where's Chloe? Where's Chloe?
Where's Chloe?
Will you take the picture?
Come here. Hey, what guy without a secretary can do a job? Come on, Chloe.
Chloe, come on.
Come on.
It's easy boss. You told me what to do and I did what I wanted. All right, you ready? Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Tigers, you guys had a hell of a game today. Hey, today is gone. You enjoy your game that you played today. But tomorrow, today is history. You got a game next week. And this game is going to have nothing to do with it. And if you think that what you did today is going to affect that other team, you're crazy. Because you know what? I used to tell teams, and a lot of these guys can remember, you guys are at the top of the mountain, and you're standing at the top of the mountain, and the other teams are climbing up, and you got to step on their fingers. You got to keep them down. And that's the way you got to feel. You're on the top, and you want to stay there. You got to fight. You got to work to stay there. And I know darn well you want to do it. I know you want to do it. Yeah. Good luck. Oh, hey, wherever that punter is, that move where you avoided getting that punt block, that was professional. Hey, that was.
There you go.
Well,
So you bring it to a car for us.
I'm going to walk.
No, you're gonna wait.
Give it to
I know where the car is.
Robert.